is not all about Cristiano Ronaldo. Team first and me second. That's what he's all about as Keylor Navas steps in for the Saint tonight. So how much will the Costa Rican be tested by Baptistao and Alberto Bueno? We will see. There should be goals on tap, Phil. Who's your money on to score the first one?
Cristiano Ronaldo would be a pretty good bet on any given day, but betting's not allowed at Bushwood.
No, just for pure entertainment purposes. I'm speaking of course, James, another one that's been on fire lately. He knows where the back of the net is, but this Galacticus of talent out there. Now, Sergio Ramos would like to get on the score sheet as well.
Resplendent in their white, Real Madrid moving from the left to the right at high speed. They don't know another way. Benzema sends it across. It's the off kit for Rayo Vallecano, the red jerseys with that big white sash. 500 days of Carlo, and they've been pretty good days.
Magnificent, simply magnificent.
Gareth Bale, as you mentioned, stepping in for Isco. There you take a look at the lineups again down below. Phil Shane, Ray Hudson with you. Glad you could join us on beIN Sports. Earlier today, Barcelona able to eke one out after almost falling at Almeria.
Back heel from Modric.
Lifting it forward down into the corner. Ronaldo giving chase.
That little passage of play there just exemplifies, and listen to this instant reaction from around the stadium. This is Real truly at their top of the operatic high note best. This is a team that's been put together by Carlo Ancelotti and the Presidente, Phil. But it's not just the wins in the silverware for me. It's the aesthetics of a Real Madrid team that's playing absolutely superlative attacking football, and they know how to defend with this man around, the Portuguese man alongside Sergio Ramos. Varane, magnificent when he's been brought in. Navas subbing in for Keylor to get a run out for Iker Casillas, excuse me, but it's the manner in which this team are playing that deserves all the plaudits. It's purely entertaining football, the way Real Madrid used to play many years ago.
Ronaldo coming across, rifles a shot low, almost bobbled by Alvarez, but the Argentine holds on. You're not the only one, Ray. Carlo Ancelotti said Ronaldo a worthy heir to the Di Stefano mantle. Foul against Modric. Disagrees. Might be short selling it. 8-0-2 for Real Madrid. A league high 37 goals. Hard to believe, 37 goals in 10 games, and that was with a slow start.
Yeah, really. See, 8-0-2. You've got to think back right to the start of this season when Carlito's men really came out a little bit on the cobweb side, but that was quickly put right. The different formations, look out.
Pushing down Leo Baptistao, who returns to his earlier success, this time on loan from Atletico.
Ooh,
driven across nicely. Kakuta deflected away, and James giving chase. He's not going to get there. Good ball by the Chelsea man. Miguel
Kakuta. Chelsea loan, as you say, Phil, and that's just a couple of degrees from being a perfect ball for the man on the back post who was waiting like a hungry vulture. Beautiful wide play. It's his 6th loan, Gael Kakuta, and his baggage is getting worn out, but he seems to have found a like. Well, home in Rayo Vallecano, and nothing here for the Welshman. This
second time he's been nicked.
A strange call. Wonderful pace, but it is contained this time. Just touches it past him, and that's perfect tackle. Reaches in beautifully.
There, the earlier challenge that was whistled. Might have been a bit risky by Abdoulaye Ba, but hit the note perfectly. Good tackle in the midfield. Ronaldo racing. Benzema, who has been the benefactor of Ronaldo's largesse. Good tackle again by Ba, the Senegalese big man, showing some good skills. Close to 6'6".
Yeah,
the
he's
Porto
stepping
man.
in for Amaya, the 31-year-old, so done with a little bit of youth, but this is what we expected from Rayo, coming out of their shell early. It's a great ball.
Just too far for Batistao.
You can see what their MO is right from the get-go. Get the ball out wide to our pacey players, and let's try to find that big flashing lighthouse. Shoulder to shoulder there, and Modric getting a little bit aggravated with that challenge. There's nothing wrong with it.
Advantage disappeared, so the free kick for Real Madrid. 3-2 and 5 for Rayo. 2 of those 3 wins have come away from home. This is a road match, but there are some Rayo fans, probably a few even with the Bumblebees, way up in the upper reaches of the Bernabeu. 4th best road offense, although they've given up more goals. Ronaldo again trying to create. Whipped across, headed away.
Wonderful separation that he puts in between the play. He takes on Insua out wide there, and Insua's distancing of his defending is perfect. It looked as if he's got Cristiano well wrapped up in cellophane, and then in the blink of an eye, one touch, and that electric acceleration leaves the defender in the dust.
Off to the far side, attacking Marcelo, but unable to keep it in.
Real Madrid back from Scouser land, of course, after Liverpool came back here in the midweek and put on a good performance, holding up. Only 1 goal defeating. That's one well wide. Speculative hit from the French youth international, Kakuta.
Real Madrid, benefactors of Brendan Rodgers' game plan. They didn't really have to sweat as much as they might have thought. Of course, then again, they didn't have to sweat that much in the first leg against Liverpool either. Damage
done at Anfield, and everybody was expecting a little bit of a basketball score against the Reds, especially against the more or less a second team. But Brendan Rodgers' men performing with the pride of Liverpool Football Club and putting on a really reasonable show, keeping down that score line and giving Real Madrid 1 or 2 chances of worry themselves during that game. But they're through. They advance into the final 16.
Of course, Ray,
this man has been a big part of it. And Marcelo, I've seen him for a long time, Phil, with you, and I can never remember him being as pinpoint accurate as he has been lately.
Still just 26. Probably has another 5 or 6 years towards the top. Ray closing out that Liverpool thought. It didn't quite work out that well for Brendan Rodgers, saving the players the 7 for their league match today, at least not on paper. Back to Ba. Near side, Emi Insua, next Liverpool man himself. Pepe, who has been very un-Pepe-like this season. Rock solid in the back with Ramos, although there has been that question occasionally on set plays.
It's all part of that massaging that I was talking about from the boss. Carlito doing wonderful with every single player, the way he's handled the Casillas situation and brought him along and entrusted him with all of the big games this year, and Sendiga performing magnificently, but the young lads coming in as well. It's a bad giveaway. Good ball.
Ronaldo lays it wide, cross into the middle, and a touch home. A magical left by Gareth Bale. The hard work from Kroos, the genius from Ronaldo, and it's Bale on the board.
Fabulous team football this, and it's exactly what I was talking about earlier. It's pure team football. This is not down to one individual brilliance. It's an easy kiss home from the Welshman. But when we take a look at it again, look at these pinpoint accurate first-time balls. The control there leads Tony. Tony squares it, sees his man running on. It's a red carpet pass, and the Welshman makes no mistake. The focus is locked. The target is detonated, and it is absolutely stripping football from Los Blancos. magnificent ball from Toni Kroos. Seen that little window of opportunity and the big hungry vulture waiting at the back post, and easy pickings.
Lifted through, not quite lifted enough for the run of Liga. Out comes James, but again, just a step shy.
Not caught on the counter-attack, Rayo Vallecano. There can be no excusing the fact that they were left strung out like a line of laundry. They weren't. They were picked apart with precision passing. And then again, that speed that is on this right side and it's on the left side, and Benzema complements them in his own way. Beautiful football.
Into the middle. Rayo will continue to push forward. Real Madrid still too early to rest on this early goal. In for Fatau, the Ghanaian on loan from Granada.
One of the hallmarks of Ancelotti's men this year since that wobbly start has been how patient they've become. They've never pressed the game. They've never gone 100 miles an hour right from the start and left them stretched out. They've been patient in their approach, and they've earned the right to win. As the Presidente probably striking another deal for the next transfer window.
I'm sure Raul Martin sitting next to him wouldn't mind a player or two slipping out of his pocket. Rayo's had to beg, borrow, and practically steal every year, it seems, and every year they seem to impress. Last year finishing 12th. A little bit of a late stumble offensively prevented them from getting close to Europe, so go out and pick up Baptistao again.
Totally diametrically opposite, of course, in that business department, Phil. Rayo signed 20 players for a total of 440,000 euros, and 21 players left the club for a combined fee of virtually zero. That's the way they do their business, and all the more power to them. But when you enter this Aladdin's cave, it's a different world.
And still, with all of those changes, Paco Gemes has them playing an attractive football and could find them in the top 8 if they can find a way to turn up this scoreline.
Always good side to watch.
Deflected.
They've got good players in this team, but it needs to be put into perspective of the dramatic difference between this wonderful little Madrid club and their big glamour boy opponents here today.
Stripped away. Kroos playing a bit higher upfield today. Finds Ronaldo quickly, driving in on Abdoulaye Ba, brings it to his left foot, and an easy stop for Alvarez.
Beautiful run by Karim Benzema, though, and may not get an opportunity to see Karim leave his defenders, like just left them. A wonderful run by Benzema, but Cristiano fancied his rasping shot. No problem for Christian Alvarez. Always willing to make that hard, that spring jackrabbit run to Benzema and give Cristiano another option. And more often than not this season, it seems to me, Cristiano always willing to pick out that pass for his teammates more than ever before.
Tras horas, the ex-Barca boy, now a Rayo man. Iker, about as comfortable as you can be on the bench, and a lot different than when we saw him on the bench last year, Ray, where you could sense he was ready to boil over. Ancelotti making the change and giving Iker full confidence again, and it's starting to pay off. A couple of shaky moments here or there, but Ancelotti continuing to show his faith, and Keylor Navas has had to be patient. Rumors swirling that Real might be looking to bring in David De Gea, so you know Navas doesn't want to stumble here today.
Here's another look. Cristiano with that quick acceleration, and there's that run that I was talking about from Benzema, just out of picture, and he was open if that little dagger ball had been pulled out, but Cristiano pulls out his version of Excalibur. It just needs a little bit sharpening up.
Fourth straight year in the top flight for Rayo.
Cristiano, of course, scored 8 goals in the 6 league meetings with Rayo, so he likes facing the lightning bolts.
Nacho could not keep it in. Funny thing is, look at that. That's Paco Gemes on the sideline. Easy to spot with the bald head. He was an international defender for Spain, and it seems like once he hung up the cleats, he said he hung up the defense too.
Man of my own blood.
Slotted forward. Nice ball to Liga.
He's got space here.
Insua, the Argentine. One touch into the middle and beautiful tackle, but straight back to the left back. Insua again looking long, just over Batistao and out for a corner.
Well, the Argentina international Insua had a great opportunity with his first one. And this was his second one, excuse me. The first one was nowhere near finding its target. Sergio Ramos cleaning up easily.
Rayo's only won at the Bernabeu once. That was back in '96. Driven across. Loose. Played square. Ramos able to clear. Finding Ronaldo, blasted wide of Navas's net. Almost a gift in the back.
Great opportunity for Rayo Vallecano to draw this game equal. It was Bar that was wide open. Take a look at this. Look at the number 15 as he fades away for that pullback, and it's just driven across slackly. If this Bar could have been pulled back here, he's wide open, and it would have been just triggered home.
Little back heel at midfield.
Great turn from James.
There you see the website, the Twitter handles as well. Feel free to jump on board.
Outlet pass a little bit more there for Benzema. James not able to pick a more positive pass out.
Pepe in the center circle, feeding Modric again. Loves that outside of the boot pass.
Beautiful pass.
Returned to Ronaldo, trailing Marcelo, but a little late. Second touch failed.
Wonderful ball from James Rodriguez to set Cristiano off, and he knows he should have played that ball first time back to Marcelo, who was down on his hands and knees saying, "Feed me, baby."
Benzema skips away from the Frenchman, but it will stay in play. By the way, check out beInSports.tv. Plenty more action going on. Alejandro Bedoya and Nantes on the road at Caen. Of course, tomorrow on beIN Sports, Le Classique, and that should be a fun one. PSG taking on Olympique Marseille, and you know Marcelo Bielsa has something special.
Good ball.
Benzema.
Brilliant.
Into the path of James as he's falling, feeds Ronaldo.
Oh. Superb football from Real Madrid. Benzema's magical. James is more magical. Look at this ball. One touch to caress it, control it, and set up the Dark Invader, who screams his verbals at deaf heaven. Wonderful decision making, especially from the Colombian.
Ball falls for Trasoras, lifting it down the line. Ramos under pressure. Nice. On his heels, Batistao, but finds Navas. The Costa Rican, beautiful out of the back for Marcelo.
Well, not too sure. I think Nacho was wide open here on this right side.
Well, that was the easy way. Carlo Ancelotti stepping in as you see the rain sprinkling down, maybe even a bit more than a sprinkle. Got the decima last year and now in charge of trying to reclaim the league title as well as the cup and retain the European crown. Not asking for much from Ancelotti, and plus they have to do it with style.
What's frightening for the rest of Europe, Phil, is that they are playing better football now than what they won a decima with, in my opinion.
Ball almost Batistao, cut out by Ramos. No, let me ask you this, as James gets taken down, They're doing it without Di Maria, and that was the adjustment early in the season. You think they're playing better now than they were last year with Di Maria at his peak?
Well, don't forget about Barbarossa either. Xabi Alonso, that was the one that everybody was fearful of not being able to replicate. And Carlito Ancelotti's done so magnificent, Phil, the various formations that he's tried from the start of this season. He learned his lesson, and he's got his team totally synchronized and focused now. No complaints. The deals that were done had question marks all over them, but they've all been answered so positively.
And it's worked out pretty well for United and Bayern as well. Driven by Batistao, slapped away by Navas. Marcelo high into the air. Liga brings it down. It won't come on the end of it. What a blast by Batistao.
Certainly shown their fangs here bravely. Rayo trying to catch a little bit of a break on this slick surface now. Willing to chance the arm over distance. That's another good ball. Just cut out by Marcelo, read it beautifully.
Tackled away from James, though, who pokes it free from Tito Roman. In for Fatao.
Rayo come into this game back-to-back losses, really leaking goals.
Slapped away Navas, and it seemed to catch him by surprise.
This one deviates. It's a lovely hit from the ex-Real Madrid man, Bueno. You see that little deviation in it, and Kayla's got to adjust his hands really quickly, and he does beautifully here. See, right here, it's very difficult to tell in slow motion, but in live time, that ball was knuckling all over the place.
In swinger from the corner. Navas stays his line. Fatao knocks it down.
Defended by Cristiano.
Blasted back to midfield where Rayo will get it back.
Good ball.
They don't waste time, do they? Driven to the back post, just over the head of Abdoulaye Ba.
Tell you what, the service in from these wide positions for Rayo has been very, very good. It's threatening and it's played in. There's nothing slap and hope about it. They are absolutely firing it in with pace and accuracy into the targets of the red shirts. That's a great ball.
Benzema against the grain. A hold down, and that should be a red. But play on. The arm came up, grabbed the shoulder, while the feet were poking the ball away. Pedro Perez disagrees.
Yeah, I think we'll see in the replay what this referee seen, that there was no contact made on the player upstairs that deserved to be called against Cristiano. It was a sliding tackle in referee Perez's opinion, and it had to be timed perfectly, but he's still complaining. Here's a look. Slides in. There's a touch on the player right here as he's going down, and that should be a certain free kick. The ball's won, but he's leading on to Cristiano, and he's pulling on his shoulder back, as you pointed out, Phil Shane.
Tackle close from behind as well. Very fortunate for Rayo. You don't want to go a man down. This is a home match for Real, but Rayo making themselves at home. It's nearly 50-50 in possession. Although that early goal giving Real the edge. Insua heads it away and comes up a bit lame.
One of those tackles there earlier that Ba comes in. I still think he would have been able to get the ball without pulling on Cristiano. Who knows? It doesn't matter anymore. The referee didn't see it anyway. But when he goes to ground, the tackle itself is good, but how much did he slow Cristiano down in order to get that challenge on the ball? He didn't like it.
Take a look as Kini loosening up. As he leapt into the air, Insua pulled something and he knew it.
Yeah, he's off. He's done for the rest of the day. The ex-Boca Juniors youth man.
Still just 25. I think he has a future on the national team if he can stay healthy and get a run. Looks like he might be trying to step out there, maybe just to give Kini a chance to loosen up, but no sympathy from Real. Top of the box taken away by Zé Castro, the ex-Depo man, and Pepe again. That sneaks through. Batistao had a chance. 25th minute. Now a whistle behind the play.
Yeah,
Real was being sporting.
Was just done the day, as I said. There's no way he's going to be able to go on with a old hamstring like that.
Not against Gareth Bale. Didn't work out well for Bartra last year. So, first change of the match by necessity as Rayo takes out Insua. Brings in Joaquin Marin. Kinney, the 25-year-old. In his first season, another player that came up through the pipeline at Real Madrid. Never quite got to the top floor, though. Ronaldo slicing and dicing. Delivers inside. Jose Castro clears away. 20 minutes left to go. Pushed aside by Kroos. Been a good start for the young German. Mentioned how well Xabi Alonso has been playing at Bayern, but Kroos in many ways has developed into the linchpin for this Real Madrid side. Interesting to see how it goes today without Isco, though. Gareth Bale on the board, so that looks good for Ancelotti. Kakuta looking for Tito Roman, who has switched to the left side with Kini in on the right. Hamas, a slow roller, still gets to Ronaldo. Bale screaming for it. Gets it on the turn, but offside.
Got to keep himself on the shoulder, the defender here. Cristiano's waiting for him to get back on, and he's got to play it sooner rather than later.
Trasoras, now 33. Mention his Barcelona roots, also spent some time at Celta. One of the better playmakers. Spanish youth international, but never quite made the jump. Even spent some time at Real Madrid after his Barca days. So mixed feelings on the day.
1-0 game. 27 minutes in, and Rayo Vallecano showing that they've got a real sting in their tail. It's the last home performance here for Los Blancos before taking to the road for 3 consecutive bus trips, and that includes heading off to Basel for a bit of a rubber type of game. But to take care of this, and an insurance goal is what Madridistas are longing for here.
Talk about it being a rubber match, but Basel knows they need to get a victory if they don't want to be erased. Disappointing start for the Swiss side.
Yeah, erratic.
Of course, many of their better players have been sold off over the last 2 or 3 seasons. 17th minute, Benzema trying to shield. Zé Castro got there first. Fatao in the midfield. And again, this is the impressive thing about Paco Gemes. 44-year-old has been in charge since 2012. Took a good thing and has made it even better. And I'm a bit surprised as the players move away, Ray, that no one has come in yet to pluck away the manager.
Yeah. Highly regarded. You saw Ancelotti at the start of this game. The warmth that this wonderful manager of Rayo gets greeted all across La Liga. Again, keeping it in focus of what this type of modest club it is, Phil. Their highest record signing ever, 1.7 million for Elvir Bolic in 2001. That was as big a time as they could ever imagine, and there's been nothing close to that in recent memory.
Pepe. Modric tried to sneak it back, but well blocked.
but they do cut a nice coat from the modest cloth that they've got, don't they? And they ain't bunkering in. They ain't defending in two groups of 5 across the back. It cost them in the past, you know, and it may cost them here tonight, but their ethos, their MO is, let's go out and entertain our fans and our believers and ourselves and enjoy the game. It's not exactly, well, Paco Gemes says it's not suicidal. He doesn't believe in that. It gives them a good chance of winning a game.
And it's worked out rather well of late. Although Ray can be, if not suicidal, maybe a little delusional. Last year at Real, at Atletico, and at the Camp Nou, the top 3 teams, they were blown out by a grand total of 16-0.
Yeah.
And they still push forward. Glancing header, back post, and just wide.
There you go.
And that's why.
And look at how many players they have in this box. And he's applauding his teammates. Take a look how many players from this wonderful Rayo Vallecano team streak into the box. 4 of them. It's a wonderful service, and it just gets ushered wide. They're peppering Keylor Navas, but he's come up trumps every time. But he realizes, and recognizing the deviation of that ball, and it's well read by Keylor Navas.
4-4 in shots, and by the way, that ball in for the Batistao header from the new right back Kini. Given away, Ronaldo blasts a wobbler all the way across. Tito beaten by Bale, cuts back outside of the boot across the 6. Zé Castro will clear. Pepe. Cross. James trying to dance around, but couldn't get around Kini. Trasoras. Wide. Liga. Fatao. Keeps it moving for Tito. And Ba across for Zé Castro. Not often you see teams able to pass around Real Madrid, although eventually you have to score. Rayo now with the better of possession, but it's Real Madrid where it counts. Ba.
Last season as well, Paco Gemes' men still had more than Real Madrid in the possession department, Phil. Just tipping them 51% to 49% and having 15 shots at goal that game, and replicating it. Are they going to replicate the result? Because it was 5-0 when they came out with this similar sort of approach. But what can you do? You've got to applaud it and say, well played.
In many ways, for the likes of an Ancelotti or a Simeone or this year Luis Enrique, it's got to be a breath of fresh air, because normally you're worried about how to move the bus out of the way. Driven in and headed away. Nacho dropping back.
Yeah, a very fine line in between being, as you said earlier, just delusional and being giving yourselves a chance. It's another decent ball searching into the Real Madrid defense. Look out.
2v4, but it's Benzema and Ronaldo pressured wide. Pedro Perez does eventually point for the throw.
Put the marking on him. He's in close. Been a little bit of a tug against Cristiano, but nothing the referee saw was a foul on him.
Good play, Benzema. There were a few questions about how Benzema would react with Higuaín leaving.
By Bale.
He's done well. Bale driving it across, but didn't get the outside of the boot.
Well, the easier ball was inside of him for Benzema. He tries for a hard pass to find Cristiano on that very tight, narrow passing lane. and his weight of his pass is just way too heavy. Little run from Benzema, again inviting that little touch pass. Not getting it.
One of those games that makes you remember why La Liga is so great. Team that was top of the table against a team in the bottom half. Both of them going tooth and nail, but with creativity and flair rather than handbags and hand grenades. 10 minutes left to go in this opening half, and Real Madrid under pressure again. Cross into his own end. Marcelo de James up for Benzema, beats the trap. Look at that. Even with this high pace, the accuracy is there. Marcelo on the second effort. Now the little jitter step inside for Bale, but intercepted.
Little drive on.
Kakuta sees it knocked away.
Yeah, needed to make up his mind a little bit earlier. Saw a late arriving Bueno along with Batistao, but not able to clip that ball into the area.
Real Madrid has won 12 straight against Rayo, although 9 of those 12 have been by 2 goals or less. Little trickling ball in the middle, but it doesn't find Bueno.
Cristiano still sniffing around up there as well, looking for another hit. He's been on a wonderful run of form. Scored in his last 9 league games. It's his best ever run in the white shirt. Can he keep it going?
8 goals in 6 meetings with Rayo. Odds are yes.
Being frustrated though, Phil. Wants to keep his head right in the game. He will. Looking for this ball over the top. Not able to get it from James, excuse me.
8 minutes left in regulation. 8-0-2 for Real Madrid. 4-0-1 at home. Rayo only losing 2 of their 5 away from Vallecas. Of course, Vallecas, one of those iconic little stadiums with one end missing. More than making up for it here at the Bernabeu. Ronaldo and Fatao, nice defense in the middle by the Ghanaian, but gift wrapped right back for Pepe. Not the best of starts for Trasoras. James, back post slapped away by Alvarez.
Beautiful stinger from James. I know exactly what he said, but I can't repeat it. I don't speak much Spanish, but I know those naughty words. And he is cursing Christian Alvarez. This cat on the line grows wings. Beautiful, beautiful save.
Cross from the corner. Second. Inside header. Pepe just on the top of the crossbar. It was Benzema, in fact.
Magnificent header. He's been scoring some beautiful goals with his head, and this one would have been a peach as well. Rises beautifully, keeps his focus locked on the trajectory of the ball. Under pressure from his defender, hanging on him, and he's still a few millimeters away from finding the net. Tremendous.
Following this match, a couple of surprising teams in Malaga and Eibar. Check out beInSports.tv for details. And then tomorrow, speak of surprises, Sevilla taking on Levante.
Yep, well, Real Madrid fans will want to watch that next game here on beIN Sports, Phil, because that's their next opponent. Wonderful Eibar. Now, when this Royal White team goes to that tiny little stadium, how many people does it hold?
About 5,000.
5,000. There's going to be 15,000 hanging in the trees around the stadium to see the day that Real Madrid came to town. They faced up against a spunky little team in Eibar.
Thomas
good ball.
Threads it for Bale. Sprints to his right, squares it near post, but Benzema could not convert.
Well, does his own generosity this time get the better of Gareth? There's a shot at goal begging as Alvarez just steps off his line, but he tries to square it back for either the Frenchman or the Portuguese man.
Driven across the 6, deflected away, and a bit of good fortune for Ramos to double the margin.
I said in the early going he'll be looking to capitalize here, and he does it brilliantly. Nothing accidental about this. This is a beautifully guided ball. It seemed a lifetime. He meets it beautifully sweet. Sergio tracks the flight of the ball. And he doesn't need to tattoo this, he needs to guide it. And I thought he did so without any interference. Look at this, it takes a little deflection onto him and he still readjusts it off his knee. He gets a little bit of good fortune right here. He'll claim it anyhow, saying, I meant it. Anybody can put them in with his feet. Can you do it with your knee, Cristiano? How about that? How'd you like them apples?
And to give credit to Pepe, it was that little touch that might have taken it over Zé Castro's boots.
Well, a little bit of fluttering of the eyelashes from Lady Luck to some extent. But the adjustment from Sergio will be claimed in the locker room as fully intended. Well, the lads will have a laugh.
Lady Luck has to like what she's seeing from the boys in white right now. 4 minutes left in this opening half. What has been a difficult match has now been opened up to a 2-goal game. Wide for Tito. Sneaks it towards the spot. Pepe stepping forward. Good reach by the long legs of Ba. Came over at 17. Did Abdoulaye Ba to Portugal, now on loan.
Nice.
He's been outstanding today.
Good ball.
Up for Fatau. Good hustle.
And Fatau does well to keep the ball alive. Sergio Ramos, the goal scorer, right on top of him. Gets pulled back, no question about it. El Kakuta, excuse me.
Looking for their 13th straight win. And well on their way. 43rd minute. Fans on their feet wanting more. Zé Castro to the midfield. Fatau pulling it down.
A lot of the Real Madrid players that have been to the top of all the footballing mountains in their vast experience, to a man basically coming out and saying they've never enjoyed their football as much, they've never been as settled or as confident in the way, in the manner in which they are set about their work by Carlo Ancelotti through the working week, and then here on Showtime. It's a great ball.
Kakuta low, Navas, and he gets some help from Ramos. Well disguised ball from Gael Kakuta.
The question and pass fired in, and it's wonderfully controlled here, spun around, and a lovely strike. Well played by Tito. And a question asked of Kayla, answered it beautifully.
Out comes Navas, and the Tico plucks it, starting a break the other way.
It's a slick surface as well, Phil. Oh, it's a bad giveaway.
Back, Navas out, dancing around, and an easy empty net tap in by the ex-Madrileño Alberto Bueno.
Bueno pounces on an absolute gift from the gods. Upstairs, they are celebrating like it's 1999. Downstairs, there'll be questions asked here. Alberto Bueno profits by this. James slack with this delivery, and then he lays it on the golden altar for Rayo. And James will be wearing the goat horns at half-time. A terrible decision to try to find his goalkeeper. Instant response.
Nacho getting tangled. Might have gotten away with one, but not this time.
Yeah, it's going the other way. Nacho pulling onto Fatah, it seemed, as the ball just gets away from him. Right there, you see, reaches across the player, and referee identifying it. Looked like 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Actually should have been a foul call right there, but referee allowing play to go on. Now he's changed his mind again.
Remember, if the foul continues into the box, the referee has the discretion to point to the spot, but it looks like he's bringing it way back.
Well, it was the first one against Modric, it seemed, that the foul was against.
Of course, I think it would be considered advantage if you go into the box and get fouled, but Pedro Perez disagrees, so Ronaldo will have to back up a few yards. Bale standing over the ball, but Ronaldo might kick him too. Pick your poison.
This is Bale's.
5 in the wall. No. Benzema the window. It will be Bale. Decent technique, just didn't drop quickly enough.
Very difficult discipline to get right. You've got to have the power, and behind that power you've got to have the confidence that you're going to be able to get that real good crack at it, so that the dynamic takes it down under the bar. Here's another look at it from Keylor Navas's angle, and he doesn't want to see that again.
First half to a close. 5th goal of the season for Bale early. 5th goal of the season for